Girl, if Diddy thought beating those federal charges meant the drama was over, he's got another thing coming. Word on the street is, one of his former lovers just leaked a shocking list of people Diddy allegedly gave STDs to, and the names will leave you speechless. Turns out, Diddy's been way more active behind the scenes than anyone imagined. And if you're wondering how he's managed to stay protected all this time, it's probably because his money's been doing the talking, with rumors that he's been paying people off to stay quiet. So, who's on the list? And why is everything unraveling now? Let's break it down. There were already whispers that Diddy might be dealing with some kind of infection. And those rumors hit harder after he showed up at court looking visibly unwell. But things really exploded after Cassie was sued by a male escort named Clayton Howard, known professionally as Dave, who claimed that during a wild encounter with Diddy and Cassie, he contracted an STD. Dave didn't testify in court, but his name came up while prosecutors reviewed Cassie's text messages. In one exchange, Dave texted her around 1:30 a.m. to say he'd arrived at a meeting spot, then texted again hours later, simply saying, "Thanks lol." But in interviews, Dave got specific, saying he was used as entertainment for Diddy and Cassie's twisted fantasies, claiming they drugged him, manipulated him, and pushed him into disturbing situations. He alleged Cassie forced him to take ecstasy, have unprotected sex, and even ordered him to touch himself for hours, leading to painful injuries. He also accused Cassie of forcing sex while she was menstruating, and confirmed he'd been infected with an STD. That's when the story blew up, and things only got wilder now. Rumor has it Dave leaked even more names on Diddy's alleged STI list, and it's messy. One of the first names, Saucy Santana, which got people talking, especially since Santana's ex, Chef D, had already hinted at something serious. Chef D went on a full-blown rant on social media, accusing Santana of having an STI, and even claimed he had receipts. He didn't hold back either, naming names, referencing test results, and giving enough details to sound deadly serious, whether it was payback or just the truth. The timing lined up too perfectly, and now, people are finally connecting the dots.
Oh, I swerve you, bitch. You can never swerve me, you big back, patty whack, give a dog a bone ass bitch. Excuse me? Miss Bumpy? Never. Ever. I would never stick my dick in you. It's too pretty. And the Spanish poppies deserve it.
Okay, I need that bitch.
What are you talking about?
I need to pass myself up. How y'all gonna let me leave and I'm supposed to fuck there?
Nah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
Now this part is straight up wild. According to the escort, Saucy Santana wasn't just hooking up with Diddy, he was allegedly being passed around to some of Diddy's industry friends, too. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Jane Doe already hinted at this in her testimony, saying Santana was being paid to entertain certain rappers. And we all know what that really means. She said the first time she saw him was at one of Diddy's infamous freakoffs, where Santana was allegedly working the room as an escort, but it didn't stop there. She claimed she saw him again at another freakoff, this time hosted by a totally different A-list rapper, and if that's true, that lines up too perfectly with what the escort said about Diddy allegedly pimping Santana out. But just when you think it couldn't get any messier, oh it does, because the escort also dropped a bombshell claim that Diddy gave Will Smith an STI, and according to him, that's the real reason behind Will and Jada's split. Y'all remember when Jada went public about their separation? Well, this might have been what she was really talking about.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Back then, most people thought Will and Jada's separation was all about the August Alsina scandal and Jada's habit of publicly embarrassing Will. But these new rumors, they're turning that whole narrative upside down. Word on the street is, the real reason for the split had nothing to do with August and everything to do with Will allegedly hooking up with both men and women, Diddy included. And if those old blind items about Will and Diddy sneaking off together suddenly sound familiar, it's because the escort's explosive claims are dragging all that old tea back into the light. Allegedly, Jada found out Will had contracted an STI from Diddy, and she wasn't about to risk her health just to keep up a Hollywood fasaji. And here's where things get really spicy. Just hours after the escort name dropped, Will Smith, headlines, broke saying Will and Jada were officially filing for divorce. They tried to spin it like Will was the one making that decision, but from how it's looking, Jada had already checked out. She wasn't sticking around while Will played reckless with her life. But it didn't stop there, because another name that kept popping up was Usher. People started remembering how close he and Diddy used to be. Let's not forget Usher was just 13 when he moved in with Diddy in New York for nearly a year. Later, in an interview with Howard Stern, Usher admitted the whole experience was strange. He said he saw things that made him deeply uncomfortable, and he'd never put his own kids in that kind of situation. Now that Diddy's under fire again, fans are revisiting those old interviews, asking the obvious question, what really went down back then? And here's the thing, Usher has already faced 3 lawsuits from women who claimed he gave them herpes. Now, while those lawsuits weren't about HIV, they still added fuel to the fire. And with these new allegations, tied to Diddy, fans are starting to wonder, did Usher walk away from that Diddy circle with more than just herpes? And then, of course, there's Meek Mill, whose name also allegedly popped up on that STI list. Honestly, his name might be the least surprising. Remember when Lil Rod hinted about hooking up with a Philly rapper who used to date Nicki Minaj? He didn't say a name, but everyone knew he was talking about Meek. Now instead of ignoring the gossip, Meek jumped online and went off on Twitter, basically confirming what people were already thinking. He tweeted stuff like, "I'm from Philly. I don't do nose candy or freaky molly. No man would ever approach me like that. The whole place would get flipped." He also said, "That's why I always come around industry people with my real friends. You'll never catch me alone with these dudes." But then, a video leaked of Meek and Diddy chilling poolside, and let's just say, the vibe was sus AF.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
And I know y'all remember that leaked tape. Yeah. That one, allegedly showing Meek Mill getting pounded by Diddy. The clip itself, absolutely wild. I'm not even gonna break down all the details because, girl, it's a lot. But just know this. Even Diddy's own bodyguard came forward saying Diddy was slanging that thing all around the industry. And honestly, with the way these names keep popping up, there's probably a whole lot more we don't know about. But that raises the real question, how did Diddy keep this all a secret for so long? With so many people involved, from escorts to industry, insiders, someone should have blown the whistle years ago, so what kept them quiet? Well, according to a doctor familiar with the case, it all came down to 2 things. Money and manipulation. Allegedly, Diddy had a whole hush money slush, funds set aside just to pay off escorts, lovers, and anyone who might talk. And when the money didn't work, threats did. He would allegedly intimidate, pressure, or silence anyone who got too close to exposing the truth. And when you put money and fear together, yeah, it's not hard to see how he stayed untouchable for so long. But now that the walls are finally closing in, how do you feel about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the next video because, trust me, it gets even messier.